Okay, this is with my 30-30, the Marlin 336A with a long barrel. And these are with the 125 grain hollow points. Now I have these loaded with 4064. I tend to do that with long barreled guns, is to use the 4064. It's a slightly slower burning powder. And I've got a lot of that, of 4064, because I use it a lot. But I'm experimenting because I did load some with 3031 also. Just gonna see which I prefer. For normal short barrel 30-30, I think the 30-31. But for this particular gun, I think the 4064. But this is the one that I have every intention of having it converted to the 3855. I think it'd be a beautiful gun in that. And that way I get rid of the micro groove. But it brings up something too. This is going to be an interesting month for guns. I don't have any desire to pick up new guns. I mean, nothing really appeals to me. But this month, in theory, the new Marlin should be out. Well, we'll see. I would be tempted to get a 30-30 Marlin in the new ones. I mean, it's a leap of faith, but I'm hoping that Ruger will do them good. So, it's a possibility. So I'm not going to convert this one until I find out what's going on, with Marlin. But they have started making them, and the theory is they're going to be out. So, it's a possibility. So if that happens, I will probably pick one up. I would prefer, like I say, I like the A model to get that longer barrel, but that isn't going to happen. They're going to be coming out with those short barrel things. But if it's wood and steel, I could go for that. We'll see. I'll have to look at one and see when they come out. I'd love it if they'd make the A models again, but the odds of that are slim. At least for now. Like I said, this one I could easily have it converted to the 3855. We get rid of the micro groove. And the good news is that my understanding is that they're not going to use the micro groove in the 336 that comes out now, the new ones. They're staying true to Marlin, but they're not using that micro groove stuff. And unfortunately, I'm sure they're not going to be blue. They're going to be that black paint is what I think of it. But we'll see what they look like. It's a possibility. Because I like to keep a 30-30 on hand. So I don't want to convert this one until, I see what goes down there. Of course, I could always pick up a Winchester or even a Marlin. They turn up. But if I'm going to pick one up, I would like to get one of the new ones just to give them a good test. But like I say, the month is going to be interesting because at the same time now, I'm not really a pistol guy, but I have quite a few of them. They're just not as useful to me as rifles are. But Springfield has come out with a new version of the high power, which looks to be a lot like the old version. There again, I'm not really a big 9mm guy, but I do have a lot of 9mm on hand. And I think the gun looks really good. and not very expensive, like around the 700, I think. So that might be a possibility. I mean, it's an interesting looking gun. Though again, the black paint, but it's wood and steel, which nobody seems to like to do anymore. So I might be buying a new gun sometime. It wasn't really my intention. I kind of thought I was done buying guns, but if they, like if Marlin, if Ruger will live up to the Marlin reputation, the old Marlin, because that's what they got to get. They got to understand that they don't just have to be better than the Remington ones. They have to be as good as the old Marlins. And they don't have to compete with Henry. They're really competing with the old JM Marlins. They got to get that to their head that they have to make a gun that good. They can't just be a little better than the Remington ones. They have to be as good as the JM ones. So we'll see. I have hopes. And like I say, if one is available, and if I'm not appalled at it, I might buy one. There's a funny thing too. Somebody in the comments, I guess, I never think about it much, but I hadn't done a video for maybe a week. I guess Thanksgiving was probably the last one. I haven't put one up. That doesn't mean I'm not making them. I have made, I believe, 4 videos, but after I make them, they get to be long. They can be 20 minutes to a half hour sometimes. And I tend to ramble in some of them, when I'm talking like in the shop. And I know right away, if I put this up, they're going to take it down. Because there's so much stuff going on. It's just a complete mess, so you try to sort this out, like somebody say, oh, this is a distraction from this. Well, it's not really like their distraction. It's just like, it's a complete mess. So everything is distracting from everything else, but it's not like they intended to do this. It's just that they got everything so messed up, that everything appears to be a distraction. But it's just all horribly messed up. I mean, anything this administration touches just turns to crap. That's just the way it is. And you keep hearing weird stuff coming, that it's hard not to talk about it, but once you do, you start getting down this whole rabbit hole, and it's better to leave it alone. So rather than waste time putting them up, I just dump them. But of course I get, a comment from somebody, are you okay? I haven't heard from you. Usually it isn't. If there's a problem, if I'm not putting up videos, it's not, like I said, not that I'm not making the videos. It's just that I really have no desire to put one up. I mean, I lose interest in this stuff after a while. I do the videos, talk it out. Even if I dump the video, I'm satisfied. Okay, I said what I wanted to say, even if only the chickens are hearing me. So. But things are really getting weird, and they're going to get weirder. And I have this nagging feeling that we're going to get a conflict going with Ukraine in our messing around kind of way, which I guess would be another distraction. But like I say, they're really not distractions. It's just that they're incapable of doing anything right. If there's a decision that comes up, they always make the wrong decision. And then rather than look at it and say, oh yeah, that was a mistake, they double down on it. And they're doing that again. So we could easily end up in a mess in Ukraine. Oh well, that's a long way from here. But I'm going to check that target and then try some of the 30-31s. You know, I thought 125 grain, I wouldn't hunt deer with it, though it would probably be effective. But I like to be overly effective. But it would be a good, like, kind of all-purpose varminty type of round. It would have the impact. It would certainly mushroom. That's a big hollow point on them. So it might be useful. It's a shame. Like I say, on the new ones, I'd love it if they would slow that twist down on the new Marlins. But at least they're getting rid of the micro groove, but I think it's going to be the same twist rate. Which means jacketed. But I've got enough bullets around, and jacketed, it's got a purpose. It's just it costs more to shoot. Well, I'll check my target and then try some 30-31s.